Hey y'all, you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so we'll see how my voice holds out, I guess. But we'll see if we can get this speech done. Uh, my topic today is GMOs, and that's been a big controversy in the public. Are they or aren't they ruining our future? Um, and I honestly don't think so. Agriculture is an extremely tough business to be in. Um, there's no more land being produced for the farmers. If anything, it's being taken away from us. With the population of the world growing the way it is, and cities expanding, um, that takes away land. Different government agencies setting aside land for wildlife stuff and um, whatever. I mean, that's great, but it's taking away land from agriculture production. Um, and so we're going to need to be able to produce more food on less land if this is going to keep going. The first question or whatever, are GMOs unhealthy? Or most people say they are. My biggest question for that is it the GMOs that aren't healthy, or is it the chemicals? Because I've heard people say, well, this chemical, will do weird things to your children, will give them a third arm or whatever. But that's not the GMO, that's the chemical that's being used. GMOs, scientists are trying to make it so we can use less chemical on the plants to produce more, and therefore the environment will be safe and we'll be safe. And plants are always changing in nature. I mean, crossbreeding with other plants that they're next to, they're slowly evolving. If you believe in the evolution or whatever, they're evolving, apparently pretty fast. But I heard a story the other day. A kid was talking about, or an organic farmer was talking about a neighbor of theirs who they were in some pretty dry conditions and only like 10 plants survived. So he kept those seeds and kept reproducing those, and then he has a drought resistant plant. Well, he just basically genetically modified his crop without doing it in a lab. He did it out in a field and over time. So it's the same thing, only a lot slower than when you do it in a lab. Another one, GMOs are improving our crops, like I said earlier, using less chemicals and fertilizers to get better yield and to improve the environment, improve what we're living in. We're making plants to have more healthy benefits. The vitamins and the good stuff in the plants, we're trying to increase the amount of that in the plant just to make us healthier. I saw somewhere where they're trying to make a peanut that people aren't allergic to, so people with peanut allergies could potentially eat peanuts, if that makes sense. Bill Nye the Science Guy, if you remember that show, he was talking to the public about GMOs, and he's a big guy against it. But I read that he visited Monsanto and went to their facility, went and talked to their scientists, and after seeing what they do, it really changed his opinion. He had an about face about it, and he's actually, liking what he saw. I mean, it's science. Argument number 2. Somebody said that GMOs aren't improving our yield. That is completely false. GMO, we're being able to have plants survive dry conditions, wet conditions. We've been able to shorten the season of some plants so that we can grow them where it's a shorter growing season, such as North Dakota, Minnesota, Canada, or longer seasons like Illinois. We can draw out that growing season so we can get a better yield. And we're, like I said earlier, we're getting more production with less fertilizer and less chemical. And another big problem, GMOs are ruining our gene pool. Somebody said, we're ruining our corn. Corn isn't the way it was, 20 years ago or whatever. But like I said earlier, things are always changing in nature anyway. We're trying to improve the plants, not destroy them, not change them completely, but we're trying to improve what they give us. ScienceDaily.com said there's a huge market for plants with improved genes, like pineapple. I read somewhere where they said pink pineapple, which were just supposed to be extremely healthy for us. TheGuardian.com says that Pioneer Seed Company are trying to make a soybean that would give more soybean oil. And J.R. Simplot Company, I can't talk. They're trying to make a healthier potato and a potato that tastes better. And these are just two examples of the companies that are trying to improve the food that we're getting. We aren't trying to poison the public like what they think. We're trying to improve the food quality that they're getting. There isn't really any evidence that says GMOs are bad for humans. They said that, or there was a website that said that they ran a bunch of tests on rats, and it caused a problem in the rats. But when they looked back at that test, they didn't have a big enough experiment. They didn't use enough rats. If you only use 3 rats and one of them gets a problem, 33% get this problem, we shouldn't do it. Well, you should have a bigger experiment with a couple controls and everything. That's my opinion. GMOs are healthy. You have nothing to worry about when you hear about, I'm eating a GMO today. Chances are you ate one just an hour ago. Yeah, thanks. Catch you later.